What's up, guys? Mr. Octagonal here from Octagonal Gaming. Now we have our divisional round NFL playoffs picks. We have 4 games, just like last week. I'm putting them in the order from least exciting to most exciting. I went 2-2 last week. I got the Chiefs and Rams games wrong, with those two teams losing. I almost picked the Falcons. I was so close to picking the Falcons. But I did get the Jaguars correct, and I got the Saints correct. So, hopefully I can do a little better this week. The first game we have is the Titans and the New England Patriots. And, yeah, the Titans, they had a nice comeback. Titans have some great receivers for Marcus Mariota to throw to, like maybe Corey Davis or maybe Rashard Matthews, Eric Decker, Delaney Walker. Well, I mean, probably himself. That was just a joke. But Derrick Henry, he played really well. He needs to play really well again for the Titans to have a chance, which I think the Titans are going to be in it after the first half, but I don't think it's going to be a super close game. So I think the Patriots will win this game, and I think they're going to win it pretty convincingly. Now we have the Jaguars and Steelers. This should be a pretty exciting game. These two teams faced off against each other on Week 5, and the Jaguars abused the Steelers. Big Ben threw 5 interceptions, and the Jaguars won 30-9. But the Steelers have been the hottest team in the NFL since then. They've only lost one game, and that one game was to the Patriots, where Jesse James was in the end zone. So technically, the Steelers have not lost since Week 5, or have not deserved to lose since Week 5. They are red hot, and it's hard to pick against them. Obviously, the Jaguars have probably the best defense in the NFL. Minnesota has a very good defense. They're probably the best too. The Seahawks defense isn't really as good as it used to. So I'm going to say the Steelers win this game. Blake Bortles is not going to have a great first road playoff game. And I see the Steelers making it to the AFC Championship. Now we have the Falcons and the Eagles. For the first time in, I think, NFL history, the 1 seed is the underdog in their first playoff game, which is the Eagles. They're an underdog, of course, since Carson Wentz is hurt and Nick Foles is playing. And I'm very tempted to pick the Eagles simply because the Eagles are at home, and being at home is a very big deal. But I'm going to say the Falcons win. They've been there. They were at the Super Bowl last year. They won the Super Bowl last year. Oh, wait. No, they didn't. They choked a 28-3 lead. Excuse me, my bad there. But they still been there. They made the Super Bowl last year. They were close a couple years ago. I think the year of Super Bowl 47 when the 49ers made it. Remember when Colin Kaepernick was good and he wasn't protesting? But I am going to pick the Falcons to win, mainly because they have been here. They just won a road playoff game in Los Angeles pretty convincingly. This Eagles team hasn't really been here in a few years. Nick Foles, I think he's probably played in the playoffs before with the Eagles when he was good, but now he's not good. So I'm going to pick the Falcons, but it's not that easy, but I'm going to pick Atlanta. Last but not least, this has been a very, very quick video. And next episode, it's going to be even quicker since there's only 2 games. And the Super Bowl, I'm just going to go really in-depth because, we don't want a 1-minute video saying, oh, I think the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl, even though the Browns aren't going to win the Super Bowl. Now we have the Saints and the Vikings. Now, last week with the Falcons and the Rams, I said I could flip a coin deciding who wins that game. Of course, I picked the Rams. Rams didn't win. Yeah, this prediction may be even harder. Saints and Vikings. Case Keenum's never played in the playoffs. The Vikings haven't been in the playoffs since 2015 when they beat the Seahawks with the Blair Walsh game-winning field goal. Oh, wait. He missed it. Yeah. Yeah, of course, the Seahawks did not learn their lesson as Blair Walsh is their kicker, and he's why they lost to the Redskins. That's besides the point. Case Keenum, of course, has never played in a playoff game. If they, for whatever reason, were to put Teddy Bridgewater in there, he's never played in a playoff game. This defense did play in that one playoff game against the Seahawks, but that was when it was negative 20 degrees out. So, obviously, this time it's in a dome, since the Vikings are in a dome. And the Saints, they have been there, a.k.a. Drew Brees. They won last week against Carolina, pretty close game. But they did end up getting the dub, so they have a playoff win under their belt. Drew Brees has been here. He's won a Super Bowl before. Super Bowl 44 versus the Colts. That was with a completely different team, though. That was 10 years ago, 8 years ago. That was the Reggie Bush days, and the Tracy Porter days, and the Will Smith days, R.I.P. Will Smith, the Jonathan Vilma days and the Sean Payton days. Well, Sean Payton's still there. But since I have to choose, I'm gonna pick. A lot of people are gonna be triggered, but I'm gonna pick New Orleans. I think Drew Brees is so good, so underrated. I think he should be talked about for MVP. So now that makes the conference championships in the AFC the Steelers and Patriots, and in the NFC the Falcons and Saints. So the AFC championship is more exciting for sure. So I'm going to start with the NFC. Falcons and Saints at New Orleans. The Falcons have been here. Drew Brees has been here. I think the Saints have a better team, and they're at home. So I'm going to pick the Saints to make the Super Bowl. I picked them to make the Super Bowl last week. I'm going to do it again. Patriots and Steelers. The Patriots are at home, and hard to bet against the Patriots when you're at home, but the Steelers have been red hot. Tom Brady hasn't quite been red hot. He's thrown like 5 interceptions in his past 5 games, so he hasn't been quite as good as the Steelers. They lost to the Dolphins on Monday Night Football a couple weeks ago. So the Patriots really aren't red hot like the Steelers are, and I think the Steelers are going to win. And with that, the same Super Bowl prediction as last week, Steelers and Saints. I'm going to pick the same winner. I'm going to predict the Steelers to be the Saints. This was my pick last week, and I'm going to pick them to win it again.